My name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Black Series Edition LLC. So we did this video about a few minutes ago. I'm just coming back from the post office dropping off packages for customers, and we did this video on why screen paints should be tested, and they should be tested. All of them should be tested because, again, you need to know whether or not if you are getting screen paint or just everyday house paint that you can pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's with no problem whatsoever. And like I said, we have a perfect example of a fellow by the name of Crow's Screen Paint Mixes. He did a couple of demonstrations on some house paints, and his products end up matching perfectly to these products. So it basically goes to show that you are not getting what you think you're paying for when it comes to screen paint products because they refuse to put those tests up. Now you see in the top of the caption, our test. That's my link that will take you directly to our test page. And these are all the test demonstrations we had to run under our products to make sure they're working perfectly fine before we can even start selling them. And this is the reason why if you're not getting these tests and they refuse to do these tests, then there's something wrong there. Now, one of the tests we require that you should have to do is a test called a gray versus gray. We do one called black versus black. And this is when we have to put our products under black fabric, black film, you name it, black paint, everything. We do all these tests. I'm going to be showing you the history of our black versus black test. We're going to be building a special site on here, and you'll get a chance to see over 39 videos on all test demonstrations that you could possibly see. Even a few of them we actually drew into the screen with black paint, something they will never do with gray paint. And like I said, perfect example of why these products should be tested is, like I said, one of the YouTubers who sells gray screen paint products on YouTube, literally two of his products ended up matching gray paint. And because of this, this is why paint should be required to be tested, because the customer at the end of the day needs to know, he or she needs to know that they're getting exactly what they paid for, or they just paid for some hype paint that claimed to be something that it clearly wasn't. Now, of course, I always receive interesting emails after we get done these particular talks, and one of them said, stay in your lane. No, buddy, my lane is in your lane. That's where it is. It's in your lane. And the reason why it's in your lane is because if you are bothered and upset because I'm making these accusations that screen paints need to be tested before they're sold, then it tells us your product is not tested. So since I'm in this field of developing screen paints, I'm in my lane. I'm in that lane and every other lane, because keep in mind, I go back as far as gray screen paint products. So stuff you guys are making, we already done it. As for gunmetal products and screen paint products, we've done that already. And now we have black technology. But no, if you're bothered by this, then guess what? You need to test your stuff, because no customer at the end of the day should get robbed because the product is matching house paint and no tests have been done. And that's why I think all screen paint should be under these tests. Now, we're required to do these tests, which we do anyway because we test also. So again, if you're claiming your product to be something more than it's not, between your product and every house paint, you need to get these tests done. Now, the reason why we tell you this is because, I said before, we have a fellow on here who matched house paint too well. And this is the reason why screen paint products need to be tested before they are sold. Keep in mind, he matched this product after he sold this product to multiple customers. And again, they bought house paint. They could have literally did the same thing with a $23 gallon of paint. Sorry if I'm eating on camera. I'm a bit hungry. Now, before any of our products are sold, before they can get a label, they have to be tested. Our products under the 57s, have dummy labels attached to them. Which means those are not the physical labels. The labels are someplace else when their copyrights being getting protected. But as for the product, we can't sell that product. There's nowhere in the world we can sell that product. We can't even sell Patriot. We can't sell any of them until they've been properly tested. And for someone to make the comment that the tests I have are old, you do know when a Black Series has launched. The Black or the test we have on the test page, or it's all Black Series technology. The Black Series launched on November the 2nd. So those are brand new tests, and we're in December. So this is what happens. This is a very big warning sign why all screen paint should be required to be tested. This is a perfect example. This is a fellow who's been selling this gray screen paint product for some time. Did a video of him trying to outperform the Network Gray 773 and ended up matching the house paint to the point where he removed the video off his account altogether. But even sadder, he sells the product still today on his website, the same thing, even though he's matched the product. And this is why that screen paint should require to go through testing before a person can basically sell them. Because now you have a product that again matched the house paint, and this is a person who's been duping and stealing from people on YouTube for quite some time, and still now today still robbing people when he has a product that clearly matched house paint. And this is why I feel strongly that all screen paint should go under testing, so customers don't get robbed. Customers are not upset by this video. The only people that are upset and angry by this video are people who sell these products. They're upset because they don't think it's fair for them to go in and have to test their products so they can give their customers something that's real and don't rob them in the process. They're the only ones upset by this. So if you're telling me to stay in my lane, oh, I'm in the right lane, all right. I'm definitely in the right lane. I design screen paints. And I think before you should be able to sell screen paints, you should be able to test those products. So that way the consumer is not cheated at the end of the day, like his customers got cheated. So I'm in the right lane. Now, as you, the consumer, you're buying screen paint products for your home or for your business, you need to request these tests. You need to see the difference between their products and everyday gray paints that you can pick up from any hardware store. And if they can't basically provide that information, if they refuse to do those tests, then you go buy the house paint. And if you want something better, then you come to us because we can back our products. Now we're going to be putting this on our new website, on our Black Series. We're going to talk about products that are guaranteed and backed by testing. I'm changing some things out on my testing demonstration page. And when that statement, we're going to make that all screen paint products, not just him, all screen paint products should be tested before sold to a customer. That way the customer knows exactly what they're getting. So that way they don't get robbed at the end of the day. The reason why we're showing this video because this is a perfect example of customers getting fleeced and getting robbed. Now, where is this video? Well, he removed it off the account. It's not, we're the only ones that have a copy of it. Other people have copies of it. We have the original copy. Look how perfect that matches. So it's wrong for Mr. Bird to go in and put the time and effort to test my products to make sure my customers are getting what they paid for. And it's wrong for me to question other people who make screen paint products that they are not testing their products out correctly either. So the consumer at the end of the day is supposed to get robbed. That's what you're saying. When you state to me to stay in my lane, oh, my lane is everywhere. It's everywhere. So bottom line is, the only people who don't, customers don't get upset over this. Customers do agree 100% that the product should be tested because they're the ones paying for it. And the person who's manufacturing these products should also agree to that. And if this bothers you, if this upsets you that we make this statement, then it clearly shows that your product doesn't work. That's what you just displayed. So anyone who posts an angry video or reaction over this demonstration, you have clearly exposed yourself. Now, to say my tests are old, there's a Black Series tester sitting on my site. My Black Series officially launched on November the 2nd. To me, my tests are all brand new. I have tests on all my technologies, dating all the way back to 8s. But y'all don't have those tests. I've been to multiple websites looking for a test page and I can't find one. And one of the tests I don't see is what's the difference between those products and house paint. Now, this is the only fellow who's done it so far, and the outcome of it was extremely bad. As you can see, he matched perfectly. But what makes it even worse, he sold this property. He sold this product before it was ever tested. If he had tested the tested the product correctly, he would have realized in his test that he matched that paint, and he probably would have made the product a little bit different so it didn't match. But this is what happens when you rush items out the door and you don't do proper testing just to make fast money. Now, like I said, anyone who's upset and angry over this, if you're caught ranting on your channel and carrying on, then it clearly shows you were doing something you shouldn't be doing and your product should be tested. A person who has a tested product is not bothered by this. This is why I put my entire test page up under a match or better. Because you guys can't compete with that. You can't match and better our test. If you can't match and better our test, then there's no way in the world you're going to be able to get past that network grade 773 or the other great products out there. You're not going to pass it. Now, as a consumer, people that are buying this stuff at the end of the day, what you need to do is ask them to do these tests. It's your money. It's your investment. And make sure you get what you paid for. So you need to request it from them. I want to see the difference between your product and everyday house paint. And you want it in the environment that you're going to be in, not some dark environment. A lot of people buy these projection screens are not going to be in dark environments, especially if you have an ultra short that was set up. You're not going to be in a dark environment. It's set up to be set up like a projection screen for your home or living room, not a dedicated theater room. You want it in a fully lit environment. That's how you want those tests done. And most important, you need to ask for contrast levels. Lots of contrast levels. Now, a wake-up call for those of you who have been making these products and not properly testing them. This is your wake-up call right there. You do not want to end up like this fellow right here, who end up matching a product and lie. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask, when you do, say real quick, when you do these tests, they will be done live. It's interesting when people call us the scammers. When people call us the thieves at the end of the day. I could give you one challenge that could wreck your entire world. So easy, so fast. So we're such fakes and such scammers. How come we're the ones that are requesting the test that nobody wants to do? Y'all don't seem to be to back your products up. And yet we're supposed to be the fakes. Well, there's your nightmare for you. You have two options, as I said before. This fellow right here doesn't care. He robs his customers regardless, doesn't care. The product you're seeing that's matching here is still being sold on this website. Those of you who cannot pass this test, then you need to pull your product off the shelf or remove it. You can't put claims into your products that say that they're doing all these special abilities for a projector when a house paint can do the same thing. Look at that. So these customers who purchased the Cinemax, what were they told before they bought it? Excuse me. They were told that the product would produce beautiful colors, amazing contrast levels, they'll get good quality, a well picture balance that's compatible with their projector. It'd be an outstanding, stunning picture. Well, guess what? That house paint does the exact same thing too. And it's cheaper. Now, getting angry at me is not going to help you. Getting angry at me is going to hurt you. I'll tell you why. Because if this video frustrates you, if it makes you angry, then that means you are doing something you should not be doing. Doesn't upset the customer. The only way it upsets the customer because the customer is going to want their money back because they got cheated. So where are your tests? I can post my tests over and over and over again. Even put up there for a challenge. It's even linked on my website. Oh, by the way, these videos you're seeing right now are not posted to the site, not to his site, not at all. He can't have them up there. This would go sour real quick. Because again, why would the customer buy a product when he could do the same thing with something cheaper? Now, just because you did one doesn't fix it. You still have to do all of them. And then you have this black and white mixture on here too, which is highly questionable right there, that needs to be put against your own products. There's so many different versions of gray paint you're going to have to do. It's not even funny. Matter of fact, how about you do the same demonstration we did where we drew into the screen with black paint? Try that one. See what I get you at. But they won't do it. So you're just going to have to figure a way how to convince the customer that your product is not house paint. And the only way you're going to do that is you're going to have to do the test. And I think it should be a requirement for any screen paint before it can be sold to the consumer that it has to show the difference between everyday paints and its product itself. That way the consumer is not being cheated. Any person who disagrees with that, at the end of the day, you just told on yourself. As I said, two of them matched. This is the bare silver screen, as you can see. It's its video. We made a copy of that because in the video I said to make a copy, even just in case if the video disappeared. We were able to get the video before it disappeared. This is why anytime we make a product, the first thing we tell you is we can't sell until it's tested. 57s are not going anywhere until they receive proper testing. We cannot sell a product. We need to have that proof that that screen has been tested before we can ship it out. It's going to look pretty bad for a screen that's not tested and basically fails on a batch number would look horrifying. I do not like to be embarrassed, and I do like to make sure I come correct on anything that I do, and I have the proof to back it up 100%. So that's the reason why we can post our test results. This is even more interesting. One showed him on video. This one shows him on video too, walking out of a Home Depot with the paint. Bare sewer screen, which matched his product again. Another perfect match. What you are missing? Apparently not much. They both do the same thing. Now, I know they're ranting and carrying on and getting upset and calling me this. I don't really care because, again, look at my link up top. That's my test demonstrations. I can post mine. Y'all can't post. You don't have any tests. And judging by the tests that we do, you can't even match us. I guarantee your customers will probably come to asking you questions like, how come you don't do the same demonstrations he does? You can't do those demonstrations. Your product won't pass. The only way you're going to get past this is you're going to have to do the test. And if you do the test and you match the product, then you're going to have to pull your product if you come up matching. That's going to be a problem. You don't do the demonstrations, well, customers are going to find that suspicious. They want to buy from you. Now, this one already has enough problems as its own. These paints you're seeing right here, these household products are matching products. He still sells on his website. Get that out of the way. There you go. That's the color of the personal mix. Now, again, as I said before, we did an open mic on this. A fellow came in here who makes these products, came in cursing, carrying on, a lot of caps. So he was screaming and a lot of emojis and stuff like that, usual stuff. And again, I don't know what you're upset about. These are your videos. You made the videos, correct? So what bothers you that we show these videos? Maybe it's because you're getting exposed. That's what it is. But it's not just for you. Keep in mind, it's for anybody. I want you to make this perfectly clear. It's for anybody who basically has to have testing under their products so people can see the difference between the two. So let's push past this and go over here real quick. I'm going to leave it right there. I haven't painted him. Now, somebody, I guess, again, made a funny statement for me to stay in my lane. So stay in my lane is basically me testing my products and you don't test yours? No, that don't work that way. Nope, you got to do the test. That's all to it. There you go. That ain't much of a difference. Ain't much of a difference at all. As a matter of fact, if you have to be that close to see the difference in the screen at that close at 100 inches, that's a complete fail. The average customer will never sit that close to a screen that big. They'll be sitting back around 11 to 12 feet from the screen. So if they can't see it at 11 to 12 feet and they got to be that close, then there isn't much of a difference. So as I said before, as a consumer, this is what you need to ask. Even from us, we get it all the time. Ask me what's the difference between my product and black paint. Ask me what's the difference between my product and different forms of fabric. So whatever you want to ask at the end of the day, you ask it. Because we got the test to back it up. I can send this test over to anybody you want. What's the difference between black paint? Bam, bam, bam. Certified screens? Bam, bam, bam. 1,000 lumens? Bam, bam, bam. Can't do this. Look how high the white levels are coming up. That's, mind you, that's the bear right there in the middle, right there. If you can see it. It blended in so well, did it not? So this is the reason why we're showing this, because this is a perfect example for other gray screen paint products out there, why it should be required for your products to be tested before they are sold. So that way the consumer doesn't get robbed. These are consumers that got robbed in the process of doing business with this fellow. They paid a lot of money for a product that they could have done themselves. Look at that. Look at that. Just look at that. You got to be that close to see that screen. Something is definitely wrong. I can step back at 18 feet at 1,000 lumens hitting my screen, and I can show you the difference between one and another. You will never catch me that close to a screen. That's supposed to be the change he's showing you right there. See right there, that little spot right there? That's supposed to be the change over $95 versus probably $17 a quart or $20 a quart. Now the 2.0, that's a big scandal right there. 2.0 is pretty bad. 2.0 is bad because he literally shows you how to make it and the ingredients. Even posts the ingredient in the thumbnail, but he wants to charge you $95 for it. That's really, really bad. This is why, as I said before, all screen paints before they are shipped out need to be tested. Now, we're not bothered by that. Why would that bother me? I test my stuff anyway. Why would that bother me? If someone to make that statement today, like, hey, all screen paint should be tested. Oh, definitely, I agree with you 100% it should be. Why would I argue with you about that? Why? I don't got nothing to hide. But those people that are upset by this will argue because they got a lot to hide. 100% on board for that. They should be tested, all of them, every single one of them, even the certified to the non-certified. Every last one needs to be tested against house paint. But it's not fair. You make a black screen paint, so it's not the same to gray. We do gray, we do black on black, we do everything. We even knock out certifies. Inside, outside, low 1,000 lumens, 5,000, 2,800. We did a projector swap out. I swapped out projectors right in the middle of the demonstrations. Y'all don't do that because you have these comfortable projectors you're used to being around. We don't do that nonsense. This gets really bad right here. It matches up so well, and look at that. That is just absolutely sad. I don't know what in the world. This joker walked out of a freaking Home Depot with that container in his hand, and look at the match on that. That's a bold person at the end of the day. Well, of course, you know what I mean? This is the same person still selling the same product on his website. So, of course, he don't care. Look, he already knows he's caught. He already knows he's busted. He already knows he's outed. He's just trying to suck dry whoever he can get his hands on that doesn't even know. He's not worrying about the people who do know. He's worrying about the people who don't know, because those are the people he can continue to rob from. Look at this. This is even worse. This is even worse. Look at this. Look at this. That's pretty bad. This is a perfect, I said, perfect example why all screen paint products should be tested. Look at that. That is disgusting. Now, those of you who know now, you know now. But you think about the other people who didn't know about this. as I said before, if this bothers you, then you're scamming and you need to have your products tested. So I got some business to take care of, but that's what I wanted to show you. This is a perfect example why all screen paint products should be tested before they are allowed to ship or sell, or pretty much sell, period. They must show all test demonstrations on their products. And the first thing you need to see upon the first test demonstrations is how close do these products come to everyday house paints. All right, well, gotta go. Thank you all. Be careful, and God bless. Ugh.